Hey guys, Sardine the Great here again with another Air Force related video. Today's video is going to be about taking leave in the Air Force. It's not that hard. Literally all you have to do is go to work. And when you're in the military, you have to go to work regardless, because if you don't, you'll go to jail. In the military, you get 30 paid days of leave a year, so you acquire like 2.5 days of leave every month. But before I get any further into this, let me tell you guys that I have plenty of other videos on getting ready for basic training, tech school, the whole joining Air Force process from MEPS up until your operational first duty station. So if you guys don't know about that, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave the link to some of my more viewed videos down in the description so you guys can check those out. If you have any questions, you can just leave a comment, or you can hit me up on one of my two social medias, either my Snapchat or my Instagram, and I'll make sure to get back to you guys. So without further ado, taking leave in the Air Force. Alright, so for those of you that aren't even in tech school yet, or that haven't even gone through BMT yet, this is something you guys would probably definitely want to know. You can't take leave until after tech school, unless of course you're at tech school while it's Christmas, because then you get to go home for Christmas. You're still taking leave, but you get to go home for Christmas. If you're at BMT during Christmas or any holidays, you're just at BMT. You can't go home. I'll make a video talking about holidays at BMT because I personally was there. I actually left for BMT today, a year ago. I've been in the Air Force for 1 year now, and I was there for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and then on New Year's I was at my tech school. But it's really interesting. Things change up a little bit during basic training on a holiday, but just a little bit, just to make you feel a little comfortable, you know. But at the same time, basic training is basic training, and there's gonna be times that you may be deployed while you're in the military, so you need to learn that, you know, sometimes you have to make that sacrifice. So like I said, you get 30 paid days of leave a year. You can not use your leave for up to like 2 years and save up like 60 days. But once you reach that 60-day limit, you have to use some of your leave. You can't add up any more of that, or else you're going to start losing some of your leave days. Like, it's not going to add on to it. So depending on your job, you will get off like a certain amount of days for Christmas. Like, you'll maybe get off like a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 days, 4 days off for Christmas, depending on your job and depending on if they need you at work on that day or not. The chance of your whole like shop being at work like throughout that holiday is very slim, because you know they try to only keep it to the amount of people that they need. Even if you don't take leave, you'll be able to get off on holidays, on major holidays. But one thing is, if you don't take leave but you do have off, don't go anywhere. Like, don't go home, especially if you live really far away. Don't go home if you didn't take leave, because sometimes you can get called in to work, and if you get called into work and you're not in the local area, like in the local town, or within like whatever the time limit is away from the base, then you can get in some really big trouble. It'd be almost considered AWOL. So make sure that you don't go on leave unless you put leave in, unless you actually specifically ask to take leave and have it taken against your leave days. So to actually get leave, you have to get authorization from your leadership. And so you pretty much just ask them like, hey, I want to take leave on these days, can I do it? But of course you have to have the leave days saved up already. So you can have 20 days saved up and ask to take off 5. You can have 20 days saved up and ask to take off all 20. It really depends on if the shop needs you or not throughout that whole amount of time, and how many people are in your shop, things like that. There's 2 different types of leave. You have CONUS leave and you have OCONUS leave. CONUS leave is leave that you take and you stay within the United States. OCONUS leave is leave that you take when you go outside of the United States. For OCONUS leave, there's a bit more paperwork that you have to go through, some trainings that you have to go through, you know, just to make sure you're safe, and then if anything happens that they know how to get to you. In one of my previous videos when I talked about getting paid in the Air Force, I talked about BAS, which is Basic Allowance for Sustenance. So that's pretty much the money you'd get for food, for sustainability, if that makes sense, right? Yeah. So when you take leave, if you don't live in the dorms, you actually get that BAS. It's not taken out and put towards your DFAC food because you're not on base to eat at the DFAC. So therefore, you get that extra BAS. Like, let's say you took 2 weeks leave, then you'd get your whole BAS because you weren't there for that whole pay period, because we get paid on the 1st and the 15th, about 2 weeks. So just like any other job, try your best to put in your leave way ahead of time, because especially around, if you want to take leave around holidays, because a lot of people want to take leave around holidays, but the further out you book it, the better off you'll be, because shops can only let out a certain amount of people on at certain times. You can't just have everybody go and leave at once and then the job can't be done. Make sure you put it out as far ahead as possible. I know it's even like those civilian jobs. When I worked at Burger King, it was like that. So just because you go on leave, it doesn't mean that you're not in the military. So all rules still apply. Don't go on leave and act like a civilian. No offense to civilians. Don't go on leave and do things that military members aren't allowed to do, because if you post anything on social media, it will be watched. Like, not to freak you out like FBI kind of guy on your phone type thing, but you're in the military and they might catch on if you're doing something you're not supposed to do. Being in the military, you get random drug tests all the time, so you don't want to go on leave, go do something you're not supposed to do, and then end up getting in trouble and ruining your career for it. So just remember you're an airman and carry yourself accordingly, even if you go back home. Even if you used to live like that before you joined the military, you're in the military now. So don't risk your future over a week or a few days of fun. But really the bottom line is have fun when you go on leave. It's not hard to get leave. It's really just as simple as asking and then typing it in online, putting it in the database. So have fun, relax, and then just make sure that you're ready to come back to work. So like I said, guys, I'm going to have a video talking about the holidays of BMT. So being there for Christmas and Thanksgiving, all the fun times of the year. I'll let you guys know how that went. So until next time, guys, stay great.
I like the way when she pull up, she don't fade. She say my name, she wear like a lane. All I can scream out is